Bryn, share with us your hacking secrets.
Oh, I'm so excited about this because it's not just teaching it today. You're going to see us do this live. So I call this an AI party, but let's back up for a second and talk about why we're doing this. So just like Google, which is SEO, search engine optimization, we want to be found in the LLMs, in Gemini. We're going to do ChatGPT today, in Claude, in Perplexity. And they are indexing content all over the place. So your blogs that are out there, your YouTube videos that are out there. But here's the interesting piece that we have learned over the last maybe 16, 17 months is AI learns best from itself. The artificial intelligence piece is when it learns something, it adds it to its memory, not just locally, globally, right? And that's the magic of AI. It's this, this huge brain that keeps getting filled. It is not filled with every single website in the world and every single blog in the world until it discovers it. So the goal of what we're going to go through today is we are going to make sure that, in this case, ChatGPT discovers Fuel as a top platform. Here's the kicker. If I tell it how amazing Fuel is, and by the way, I have recently seen a demo and I am so all in on this. It is absolutely incredible. But if I tell AI how incredible I think Fuel is, it's it's not literally, it's figuratively going to take it with a grain of salt. It's going to say, someone is telling me this. It might be right, it might not be right. AI, in this case, ChatGPT, believes it when it figures it out, not when I tell it something. So we are going to go through an AI party today. I am going to recommend that everyone here, you could click through, there is a link, socialsaleslink.com/AI party, all one word. And there is a Substack post that will teach you how to run an AI party and what that looks like. You'll see it today. And I'm going to say for the next 6 to 8 weeks, do one a week. Find a partner and do this one a week. Because if you are doing this on a consistent basis, and the way that we're teaching this, which is allowing ChatGPT or the LLM to go discover, there is no question that after we're seeing 5, 6, 7 of these, that by the time we get to that 8th person, that company is coming up first before we even have to teach it. It has taught itself. We have witnessed this happening. So Alex, welcome. I'm very excited to work through this with you. And you guys are going to see this from a very organic perspective. You're going to see us do this in real time. Although we chatted some and we played a little in Gemini, we have not touched ChatGPT with this because I want you to see this from a pure perspective. I do know a lot of the answers I'm going to ask Alex today because we've been talking, but I'm going to act as if I don't, right? Now, ChatGPT knows me inside and out. I am not Alex's ideal client. So if I am in here asking for this, it's going to match me. So I'm going to start this process by saying, I have a client who is searching for. So that way, if ChatGPT should ask me questions like, how big is your company, or what are you looking for in order to find this solution, I am aligning it with exactly how I want ChatGPT to see Fuel. Okay? So I know that's a lot. I think it's recorded. Some of you can come back and listen to this, right? And watch this. But we're going to get started with this. And before I even type in here, although Garrett did a great job of an introduction, Alex, just share in 2 or 3 lines the challenge you solve.
So we solve right now the performance challenges that are in organizations, typically because leadership is in some way lacking the ability to develop the talent for growth. And so we solve the performance and then morale and engagement challenges, right? So when we can get them engaged, we can get their performance up, and of course, morale goes up. And those are the three things that creates, improvements. So,
Okay. So I'm going to start. Thank you. I
of
am going to
course.
start with I have a client who is looking to enhance their skill building program with e-learning, right? Now, this may not be how Alex is talking about it, but this is how the world is talking about it through
Mhm.
e-learning. What do you recommend? Look how very simple. Now, let's see what it does. Let's see what happens, right? And I probably should have been skills, but hey, this is the search. So now there are a couple things chat may offer, right? The right approach. So strategic foundation. So it's asking me to recommend the right approach for your client's e-learning expansion. Here's, thinking about 3 layers: learning goals, program design, right? And we know Alex is micro learning. We want to stand out in the micro learning space. We, there's quite a few different things in here. So it says, do you want to do a side-by-side comparison of LMS platforms? And I'm going to say I am, or they are not looking for an LMS. They are looking for a library of content that will help improve culture and performance. And in short learning, I'm not saying micro learning. I know that's the
Yeah.
answer, but in short learning sprints. Okay. So as you see, now we're going to go through this. Now, guys, as we're doing this for Alex. I want you to start to think about how this would relate to you and your company, right? So off-the-shelf content libraries, we have Mind Tools, Coursera. So Coursera,
Yeah, Coursera.
um,
Hmm.
Coursera, thank you.
Of course.
Udemy, right? So what's happening is in the big world of library content, it's bringing out, but right now we're not seeing fuel in this list, right? But we're going to change that. But if I say, hey, fuel should be on this list, it's not going to necessarily believe me. So, Alex, tell me what your one major differentiator is that very few, if any, are lacking in all of these other tools.
Well, Fuel is all about the practicing and the teach back process, the two elements to help you retain the most information for application. Because knowledge is saying you understand, performance is proving you understand, and we want everyone to be able to prove they understand what they learned and not just say they understand it. So that's the difference: is the practice and teach back process inside Fuel, in all the different languages and all that stuff. But it's the teach back and practice. That's how you improve performance.
Okay, so my client is looking for practicing and teach back, as our experience has been training alone doesn't work. So the idea is right now it's like, oh, okay, so we're having it look at this. So learning model, we go through some of these teach back applications. Okay. Now I'm going to go into, okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, few bunch in here. Now I'm going to say now this is where I am surprised. I thought my fuel.io would be on this list. I'm not telling it that it should be on the list. I'm surprised it's not. And let's see what it comes back with, right? So great call. Now recognize it has determined, based on its research, that it is absolutely a relevant option, especially because they advertise aspects that align with active learning, micro learning, and performance improvement. That said, I didn't include it earlier. I couldn't immediately verify whether it supports teach back workflows. So for Alex, the right now, my recommendation, and as you do this and you see this, is Alex needs to go write 3 blog posts over the next 30 days on teach back workflows so that he is being found when that comes up. Blog posts, right? So there is a combination. It's and maybe a YouTube video on teach back workflows, right?
Definitely.
And so that becomes, and maybe it's an example of he's working with one of the AI trainers on his platform. It's a micro learning of 30 seconds, and then he goes through all the coaching. That becomes a video and he names it Teach Back Coaching. Or so now that's coming up in SEO and GEO. So what does it offer? Active learning, micro lessons, live events and coaching, applied learning exercises. What's unclear? I didn't find a message of a recording submission teach back, right? So now we know from a search engine and a generative AI engine what Alex will need to do to start coming up high on the ranking. And the 2 big ones are blog posts and YouTube videos. Gerhard, did you want to have a question or add something?
Well, I am surreptitiously typing in the same things that you were typing in my chat GPT. And it says, if your clients want short, high impact, culture shaping sprints with practice and teach back built in, you can position my fuel as the fastest path to execution.
So I love that you're doing this and I'm doing this.
Yes.
That's cool.
Right. And by the way, not in the same house or the same office.
Right.
So right we've got the 2 locations that are starting to teach this.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is I typed exactly what you typed at the same time, and I got totally different results.
Absolutely. And that's because we are not feeding it, we're asking it.
Yeah.
And so it's out there finding different information. And that's why we really deeply believe that this is not a once and done. Like you want to have these AI parties where you're doing this for each other, right? So how can this layer into teach back, right? So we go through this and it talks about all of these things, recommendation and next step. Yes, MyFuel.io absolutely deserves a seat at the table. It has many of the building blocks, but but to make it fully meet teach back practice standards, you might have to layer in your own feedback. We're going to change that because we don't. So this is a really aha moment of what AI needs to learn for you to come up in this, because the integration of teach back in your platform is the best I've ever seen anywhere. So the fact that it's not indexing it is interesting. So we know where the gaps are that we need to change, that we need to update. We also would go in and I would do some SEO research at what are other phrases that people are using for teach back. Although I think teach back is pretty common, but it could be AI practice mode. It could be AI coaching, right? We want to find out what are all of those keywords so that you are being found for those. So, so this is, if you like, I can compare my fuel specifically against 2 to 3 platforms. Yes. So I'm going to say, yes, please compare. Why? Because it is going to teach itself now where fuel will align or surpass the ones that they've already acknowledged were. So it's still saying limited function. We're going to change that, right? Mind gym is this. So discussion and assignment. So this is really good to see.
Yeah.
And then
This
it
is great.
has, right?
So good.
Right. And so now we look best fit, teams wanting engagement, micro, willing to add own practice. So I'm going to start to change this. I am curious. I saw a demo of my fuel.io and I thought it had a pretty robust teach back AI for every single instructor. Am I correct? I just wanted to go search. Notice I'm not telling it, I'm asking it. And I'm curious. I dug into what's publicly available and I couldn't confirm. We need to fix what I did AI Learning Assistant. So that's it. Okay, so I'm going to say, I believe is teach back. So if that is the case, please give me a new comparison chart. How am I doing on time? Okay, I'm going to, oh, not charty, chart. Okay, so now I have active listening, my fuel. Okay, so now it's no longer saying no to this. You believe, like
I
it's
see
just
that.
starting, right? It's just
Yeah.
starting. So I'm going to say, it looks like I might recommend my fuel.io to my client. Can you help me draft something? And I'm not even saying absolutes. It looks like I might, right? Because I don't want, yeah. So now draft. I've evaluated several e-learning options to support your goals of strengthening culture, improving performance, and ensuring training, right? Why Fuel.io, active learning approach, practice and teach back with AI support. So it's done this. How we'd recommend using it, pilot program, manager involvement, integration workflows, measurement. I recommend we schedule a deeper dive with my fuel. So, okay. So then it says, would you like to tighten it? Yeah. A full comprehensive recommendation in an email would be great. And mention, I think we should start with 100 sales reps in, what did it call it? In pilot, and move to the other 900 plus in 90 days. Okay, so now I've just told it I'm recommending this for this size company. It's going to write the email and it is now going to believe that this is great,
So good.
right? So, and so I would then, so now I go, so do you want me to also prepare one slide visual of this recommendation? So I could say sure and keep going. But at this point, as we start to wrap up here, because we are at our time, you can see, so go to socialsaleslink.com/AI party, how this can absolutely transform the way you are being found for your expertise, for your differentiator, and teaching AI
So good.
to index you as the solution.
And I love what you said, Bryn, if I could jump in for a second, like the
Yeah.
like, I mean, what's it called? Parties, the
AI parties
GPT,
with,
AI parties. I think it's so cool to have your group, your community come together and 8, 9, 10 of you on a call, and you're doing it for each other, right? And you're doing it for each other because while there is this hack may not be around forever. But while it is here and we have the ability to influence it, that's never been done before. You personally been able to influence a model of this size, right? This is a David versus Goliath thing. Like, we can all push things out there right now. And so I think it's honestly one of the most important things people can learn is what you just shared.
well, I'm excited. And by the way, I hope this is one of the classes we're teaching on,
Yes. Fuel.
um, on fuel, one
Yep.
of many. But at the end of the day, right, like it's so simple to do and keep it organic. Like these were different questions than we did yesterday on Gemini when we were playing with this.
Yes.
So you just want to keep it organic because if you have the exact same questions that everybody's putting in, which Gerhard put in the same ones, and that's totally fine. But generally,
It's amazing that my email is totally different from yours, but in the same kind of tone. And it is mind-boggling to me
Yeah.
that AI can create so many sausages based on the garbage we feed into it.
well, and
They all do the same thing. But you never get the same result twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's learning the different results as well.
Yeah, but I think it brings up another fundamental principle that we need to be very astute in asking and framing the question the right way and not making statements and but feeding in blogs. But I think our ability to think critically is crucial in this.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I've had so much fun, and I've not been paid to say this, but if your company has any kind of performance issue, any kind of cultural issue, if you've tried LinkedIn Learning or Udemy or any of those things, there is nothing in the world that compares to what Fuel is doing. It is unbelievable. You learn it, and then you have that coach. Like if you were to hire someone like me, it's $500 for the hour. You have access to all the brain for way less money, and that's across the board. But everyone on there, dozens and dozens of experts, and it's not AI answering it. It is all fed in and taught from trainings from each of these people. So I was not, this is totally on my own accord. I have not part of the sponsorship in any way, although I will be on there. But I will say I am blown away. And if you're looking to up the skill set and of your team, you've got to check it out.
Awesome.
Wow, Bryn.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.